to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. We are growing one big family. Thanks to all of yous. And I am so grateful and humbled by your beautiful comments and your uplifting messages. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to just touch a few things. So if the video is too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, you can turn on your CC, closed caption, and you can read whatever stitch I call out down here. Take notes, pause the video, and you take it from there. It makes it more easier for people that have a hard time to follow YouTube. I also would like to mention that I do have a crochet group on Facebook. It's a private group. I will leave the links below if you want to be part of my group. We're a bunch of beautiful ladies. You're more than welcome as long as you have a profile. There's a lot of scammers going on to the crochet groups right now, and especially with the links that says bit or cut. Don't open those links up. Those are scammers that go through your computer, through your phone, and steal every identity possible from you. So be very careful on that. I also would like to mention, if you'd like to donate to help out the women in need for thread, please do so. Below the video, there's a little bag with a $sign. You can donate there, whatever amount you'd like. Also, in the description box, there's my PayPal account. You can donate there, whatever amount you'd like. Or if you have extra thread and extra yarn, you can contact me through Instagram message, email me. You can contact me through the Facebook group. I also have a Facebook page and TikTok. So there's so many ways you can get a hold of me if you'd like to send out the thread or the yarn to these women that are desperately in need of it. I will send you their name and their address. You're more than welcome to do that, and we're grateful and humbled by it. Thank you so much. So most of the time I use a 3.5 hook, small one to tuck in loose ends, and of course a pair of scissors. And 99.9% of the time I use 4-ply 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal threads. It's equivalent, the same thing as Aunt Lydia, number 3 cotton thread. Okay, just a little tiny little bit thinner, but not by much. So we're going to get started. I want to thank every single one of you again. I also would like to mention at the beginning of my videos, when I first started 2 years ago, I did not know how to call the stitch names in English. So the first couple of dozen of videos, they're not well recorded. First, the app was terrible, so it's half screens, horrible. And because I did not know the name, I would just, explain it my own way that I knew how. And I apologize for that. But if you go through some of those videos and you are creating those pieces, because there's some of you that have been texting me on it and questioning me, please feel free to ask any questions. I am here to help you. Some of them I have recreated, of course, with the proper codes for the stitch calling. Some of them I still have to create. I just haven't had any time for it. But don't hesitate. Question me, and I will answer you ASAP. We're going to get started. Thank you so much, everybody, okay? And, of course, if you have not subscribed, please do so and hit that bell notification for new uploads to be notified of the new videos that I bring out every week, okay? Okay, everyone. So a couple of days ago, I had created and launched these doilies. Some of you will recall that follow me through as a subscriber. And I had mentioned that I most probably was going to do the table runner, either oval or square or whatever the case may be. Now, I had an order for a living room, which is one long, like a meter long, for the TV stand, for the coffee table, and for the 2 side tables for the living room. So I had created my first one to have to get the stitches in properly, and this is what it looks like. But the person wanted it more into the lilac, so this one is for the coffee table, and this is already pretty much done. But I'm going to create today the small one for you guys, because it's the same thing. You're just, for the length, you're just adding in the centerpiece here for the length you would like. Everything else stays the same. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's a little bit long, so it does not fit completely here on my little table. But This is for the coffee table of the living room. Okay, so we're going to get started on this. So 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal brands, but they're equivalent to Aunt Lydia number 3. So you can use those. If you're using number 10 Aunt Lydia, it's very thin. You will have to increase quite a few more rows to get the right size that you want. 3.5 hook, a small one to tuck in loose ends, and of course a pair of scissors. And sometimes I will use the hot gun glue just to glue loose end tips. So if you have one, it's very important. If you don't, you should get one at the dollar store because it helps a lot with the gluing the edges of the pattern. Sometimes leftover threads that you can't tuck in properly or you're afraid it's going to come apart. That really helps a lot. Make sure that you do get is the transparent glue. I also would like to mention that I block my patterns with softener. Any laundry softener, spray, stretch your pattern, leave it flat in a flat surface and let it dry. And it's perfect, smells good, and it stays nice and straight. Okay, let's get started, everyone. So on this one, I'm going to give you the measurement. I'm going to make, these are for the side tables on the living room, but I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I find that this is a little bit too small for it. So this is 43 centimeters, okay, by 28. Now, this one I have 15 rows. Mind to tell you, it's very important that you must pay attention. When you're creating this first middle piece, it has to be odd numbers. Okay, so whatever length you want, make sure it's odd number or you're going to have a very difficult time to finish your design up. This is 15 rows. I'm going to do 17. Okay, so basically you would, always jump by 2. So I'm going to do 17, or you go 19 and 21 and so on and so forth. So odd numbers to start off, okay? And once we get to this row here, it has to be even numbers with this group. You've got to make sure, even if you don't have it, you must fit it in somewhere around the pattern. Doesn't matter where you fit it. It has to be even numbers or else you will not get this effect. Okay, so you have to be extremely careful and attention with it. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. So the first thing you want to do is that slip stitch knot. Always leave a little bit of string so you can tuck in the loose end because you don't want nothing to come apart. We're going to do 4 chain, 2, 3, and 4. On your first one, we're going to close it in with a slip stitch. Okay, and then inside of this little ring here, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain going up. That's double crochet plus 1 chain for space. Okay, inside of the little ring, we're going to create 3 incomplete double crochets. So we have 2, and this is 3. So on your hook, you'll have 4 strings on there, okay? We're going to close it all together at once, and we're going to do chain 2 for space. And again, come back inside of this little ring and do 3 incomplete double crochet. Try to hide your leftover thread if you can at the same time. So now I have my 3 incomplete double crochet. I'm going to close it at once, and I'm going to do 1 chain for space. I'm going to come back in and do double crochet. So it will be the same thing on this side. Okay, so we have that 4 chain we went up, 3 for double crochet, 1 for space, 3 incomplete double crochet, 2 chain space, 3 incomplete double crochet, 1 chain space, and your double crochet. We're going to turn our work and we're going to do again 1, 2, 3, and 4 chain. Okay, we're going to come into the center of the groups here, and we're going to continue to do the incomplete 3 double crochet and close it at once. Chain 2 for space, come back in and do 3 more incomplete double crochet. It's going to be like this all the way up until your desired length. 1 chain space, Now we have that one chain for space here. We're going to come on the second one, okay, not the first one here, the second one, because that's like the double crochet that we did, okay. And we're going to do our double crochet again. Either you can do 1 2 3 4 from here, or you can just turn around automatically and do your 4 chain. We're going to come back in to the middle where we have the 2 chain between the groups and complete the 3 double do the 3 double crochet incomplete, close in at once, chain 2 back in, and again 3 double crochet incomplete, 1 chain space, and then we have that 1 chain for space. We're not using that one, we're using the second one right up top here and doing the double crochet. So you can turn around, do your 4 chain, or do your 4 chain now, it doesn't matter. 2 3 and 4, turn your work, and again. So I'm going to do 17 rows. I want it a little bit bigger than that one, but you can go the size you'd like, longer, smaller, it's up to you. Okay, 1 chain space here. Again, I'm not doing it on the first, I'm going to do it on my second, and this is how it's going to go. Now I had started yesterday, this is going to be like a meter long for the TV stand on the living room, so it's a very long one. As you can see, it's all adding, you know, in the middle piece here for the length. Just make sure that you have odd numbers, okay? I'll be back with you once I finish my 17 rows. Okay, everyone, so I have my 17 rows. I've cut in my thread because I'm changing colors, and I'm just going to tuck in between a stitch back here, and I'm going to bring this to the center here of the groups because we're going to work on the middle, and that's pretty much going to hide it. And I always like to make a little knot so nothing comes apart, and after making a knot, just go in another few more because I'm going to work in the center here. It's going to cover this little leftover thread. So I'm coming in with my lavender. Make sure that you have the right side up. Slip stitch knot. And I'm going to come in the center of the 2 groups here where we left the last row, which is 17 that I've done, and try to hide my thread here at the same time. So single and 1, 2, 3 for double crochet, 4 and 5, 2 for space. I'm coming back in and I'm going to create 4 more double crochet. So 1 2 chain space, and again double crochet, 1 2 chain space, and double crochet. We're going to have a total of 5 double crochets inside of the center here. 1 2 3 4 5, 2 chain space, 1 2 chain space. I'm coming into the first chain here that we did with 3 double crochets, chain 2 for space. I'm going to skip a space and going into the next one. 1 2 and 3, chain 2, skip a space into the next one. Just want to remind you that everything that we do on one side, we have to do it on the other side. So these 5 double crochets with a 2 chain space, we must do it here the same way, and we must do the group right away in the first space here. So that means that we have to do it here also before going into the center. 2 chain space, skip a space, and come into the next one with your 3 double crochets. 2 chain again, skip a space, into the next one, 3 double crochets. 2 chain space, skip a space, into the next one, 3 double crochets. So we're building little groups of 3 double crochets. Skip a space, come into the next one, 3 double crochets, chain 2, skip a space into the next one, 3 double crochet, chain 2, skip a space. We are in our last one here, and create a group of 3 double crochet, chain 2 inside of the middle here where we started off that little ring of 4 chain, the very first thing. We do again the 5 double crochets, chain 2 for space, come back in, double crochet, chain 2, come back in, double crochet, chain 2, come back in, double crochet, chain 2, 1 2 3 4, and my last one. So now I have exactly the same thing as I have on this side, 5 double crochets with 2 chain space, chain 2. I'm coming into the first one exactly like we did here and on this side. Create your group. Anyway, you cannot be mistaken because it's the same direction. If you think, oh, did I skip? Did I not skip? It's the same direction, right? So skip a space into the next one. And we're going to repeat exactly what we did on the other side. So I'll meet you at the end over here with a slip stitch on the 3rd chain. Okay? Okay, so I'm in my last one, chain 2, and I'm going to come into the 3rd space. So we have a single and 2 chain. So on my 2nd chain here, slip stitch. Now I'm going to do 1 2 and 3 chain going up on the same space, another double crochet. So now we are increasing. So row 1, we'll call it the row 1. Okay, so there is no mistakes. Row 1, 1 double crochet. Row 2, 2 double crochet. That's the increase. We're always going to add on the second one the last double crochet, always 2 inside from here on for the desired width that you would like. So the next row will be 3 double crochet. That means 2 added at the end. So 2 chain space. In the next double crochet, we're adding the 2 double crochets. 2 chain, 2 double crochets. Chain 2 for space, next double crochet over double crochet twice. So we're building these 5 groups, 2 chain space, double crochet over double crochet. Now chain 2, I'm going to explain to you something. So on the first double crochet, I'm doing 1 double crochet only. Chain 2, I'm coming into the space here and create my groups. Okay, so all 4 corners will be the same way, only with 1 double crochet. That means we're gonna, when we get here on this side, only 1 double crochet, chain 2, and we continue on. Okay, chain 2, next little space, create your groups. Okay, so let me just show you here so you can understand. So we are here on this row, right? So always one row will have 1 only. The next row, the group. The next row, 1. On this one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is all double crochet all the way around. So 5. on this one, I'll be doing 6. Okay, so that actually 7. Is it 7? Let me just, yes, I will be doing 7. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll have one more row, 5, and one more row of this 6. And my 7th row will be the double crochets. So you have to remember that you always have to do one row of groups, one row, one double crochet, groups, one row, one double crochet. Okay. So I'll meet you here at the edge once I finish to do my side groups here, so you don't get confused, okay? So I'm almost at the end. I'm going to build my last group here. To chain space, and on my last one here, I'm doing 1 double crochet. So it will be the same thing as we have on here. We do the same on the 4 corners the same way. Chain 2 and proceed again, 2 double crochets over the double crochet from the previous row. Chain 2. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing as we did on the other side. So like I mentioned to you from the start, whatever we do on one side, we must do on the other. So now we know that the next row, the edges will have 3 double crochet. That means increase 2 on the last one. Chain 2, and on our first one here, 1 double crochet only. Oops. And then your 2 chain space, come back and create your group. Okay, so you have the 1 and the 1, and you must do it here also. So you just follow, very easy. You can just follow to see if you're on the right direction. So you know that this one is on the last one here, or should I say coming this way, it's on the first, but going back, it will be on the last, right? So I'll meet you at the end. So we finished row 2. I've done my last my double crochet on the last space. So now we're going to increase again, chain 3 into the next double crochet. We're going to add 2 together, so that means we have 3 double crochets now. Chain 2 in the first double crochet, 1 alone, on the second one, 2 together. Okay, so we're going to continue that, and I'll meet you here. So now I've reached, so I've done my 5 groups with a 3 double crochet by adding 2 on the last one. Chain 2. I'm going to come on top where I have that 1 double crochet and do double crochet and 2 more inside of the space. Remember what I told you, we're going to have 1 row with 3, 1 row with 1, 1 row with 3, 1 row with 1. So very simple, nothing to it. If you need to rewind the video, then go ahead, but very simple. Okay, and if you want to put markers to make sure that you're not going to forget, then put markers you know that you're going to have to add on there. Okay, so we're going to continue to create the groups, and I'll meet you at the end here. Okay, so I'm reaching where I have that 1 double crochet. I'm going to do 2 inside of the space, 1, 2, and 1 on top of the double crochet. So it will be exactly the same thing as on here. Okay, and then chain 2 and create your 3 double crochets, 1 alone, 2 together, 2 chain space, and again repeat the same thing. Now, remembering that the next row will be only one double crochet, okay, exactly like we have here, and all four corners. So we'll have one double crochet, one double crochet, and one double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So this is row 3 that we are completing. Okay, so we finish row 3, going into row 4, 3 chain, 1 double crochet, on the last one, 2 together. So now on this row 4, we're going to have 4 double crochets. Now that's another way for you to see if you are making a mistake or not, because they follow. So row 1 is 1 double crochet, row 2, because we are not counting the white centerpiece, okay? Row 3, 3 double crochets, row 4, 4 double crochets, 2 chain space, 1 double crochet, next space, 1 double crochet, and on the last one, 2 together. Okay, so I'll meet you here again. Okay, so I finished doing my 5 groups of 4 double crochet, adding 2 on the last one, chain 2. I'm coming into the first one. It's all in the same direction. You can't go wrong, right? 1 double crochet, chain 2, and your groups. So from here on, it's, always a repeat of the same thing. So you know that the next row, you're going to have to do the 3 double crochets. That means 1 on top, 2 inside of the space. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do until my 6th row, so 2 more rows like this, because the next row will be the group, and then the next one is 1 alone. Okay, 1 double crochet alone. We need to finish it with 1 alone, no matter what size of width you're going through. Just make sure that you do your last one with 1 double crochet only. Okay, because then we need to do a row of only double crochets around. So it doesn't matter how wide you want to go, just finish with 1 only and not the groups. Okay. Okay, everyone, so I finished row 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and of course it's finished only with 1 double crochet here. Okay, so row 7 is going to be only double crochets, and on the edge where we have the increase, we are still doing the increase. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, next space double crochet, next space double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, and on the last one, 2 together. So on this row 7, we have 2, 4, 6, 7 double crochets. Inside of the space here, we're doing 2 double crochets, and again repeat the same thing. So very simple, nothing to it. We're doing the increase on the last double crochet, 2 together, 1 and 2 on the same space, and 2 double crochet in the space here of the 2 chain. I'll meet you here at the edge. So I finished doing my last 2 double crochet on the same space where the groups are of the increase. I'm coming into the space and do 2 double crochet. So everywhere we have the space, we're doing 2 double crochet and 1 on top of the double crochet from the previous row. So 1 double crochet and 2 inside of the space. Very simple, nothing to it. And again, double crochet over double crochet from the previous row and 2 inside of the space. We're going to repeat this all the way around the same way. Going to the edge, you're going to repeat the same thing as we did on this edge. So where we have the increase, we must continue the increase on this side. And where we have the chain space, we add 2 in the same space and 1 on top of the double crochets from the previous row. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I finished my row 7. I've closed in on the first chain that we did, the 3 chain going up with a slip stitch. I'm going to tuck in my loose ends. So I'm just going to go back and forth into the chains here. And I'm going to give it a little knot here just to make sure that nothing comes apart. And then go through a couple more. Because the next row, you know, whatever stitch we're doing is going to hide at least whatever's left over. I'm going to come in with my green, lime green. I'm going to do slip stitch knot. And I'm going to come in right on top of the chain that we went up. Single and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are going to create little V's. So back into the same space, we're going to do double crochet. Now, because we are doing, let me see, 1, 2, no, we're still good here. It's not on this one, it's on the next one. Just want to check to make sure. Yeah, okay. Thought it was on this side, not yet, on the next one. Okay, so directly 1, 2, on your third space, double crochet, chain 2, come back in the same space. We're creating those V's. Skip 1, 2 on the third space, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet on the same space. Skip 1, 2 on the third space. So we're doing this all the way around to the end. Chain 2, back into the same space, double crochet, oops, 1, 2 on the third space. So in between the V's, there are no separation. 1, 2, only inside of the V's that we are creating, we have a 2 chain. 1, 2 on the third space, double crochet, chain 2, come back into the same space, double crochet. We're going to do this all the way around, and we're going to close it in on the third chain on the way back. Okay, everyone, so I've come to the end, and coming to the end I will have 1 extra double crochet. So what I did was I skipped 1, 2, 3, and I came in my 4th. Doesn't change anything on our pattern. And I'm going to come in with the purple. Actually, it's plum. It's not even a purple. It's a plum color. So I'm just going to go in through a few and get it into the center of the V. So my next row, I can cover it with my stitches. I'm going to make a knot also to make sure that it all stays together. So I got this beautiful plum color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going into row 9. We're going to do the daisies. Very simple. Come into NUV, single. Try to hide my thread. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to come back inside and I'm going to do 4 more double crochet, incomplete double crochet. So we'll have a total of 5. So I have 3, 4, 5 incomplete, and 5 strings on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close it at once. 1, 2, 3 chain for space. Next V, again, incomplete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. Close it all together. This will be the same way all the way around. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and close it all together. So we're going to do that all the way around. Meet you at the end. We're going to close it on the first one here that we closed all of the double crochets with a slip stitch, and then I'm cutting my thread again, and I'm coming in with the no, is it the white? No, I'm coming in with the lavender. Into row 10, I'm going back in with lavender. Now there's going to be a little trick here because we are at the curve. At the curve, we're going to skip, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, not yet. Okay. On the next row, I believe we'll be doing the skipping. Just don't want to forget about that part, right? Okay. So, but there is a little trick here just the same. So we have the first motive here, right? And the first space of the first motive is right in. So right on the V, right at the edge here. We're going to do a single and 2 chain, or 3 for some of you if your stitch is too tight. I'm going to do another 3 double crochet in here. So we're going to have a total of 4 double crochet, but this is only for the edges, not the sides. The sides we'll be doing 3 double crochets only. So next space, 4 double crochet. So the whole edge here, which is probably about 11 of them or 12, something like that. There's not a real count for it. You know, it's a go with the flow thing. So next space, 4 double crochets. But I'll let you know how many I've fitted in, okay? Next space, 4 double crochets, because this is, you know, it's almost like an increase because we're doing the edge. We don't want it to pull too much. So I'll meet you here when I'm done, which is at the last one here on the groups of the curve, okay? Okay, everyone, so let's see if we can get this properly in. So I've started here almost on the same direction of this group, okay? 4, 4, 4, 4, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I stopped my 14 almost in the same direction, okay? So depending on how we're gonna work it out here on the edge with 3 double crochets only, we might even have to add a 4th one here before the end. So now the edge, until we meet again here on the same direction as we just did. So we're going to be doing 3 double crochets only. 1, 2, and 3. Next space, 1, 2, and 3. Next space, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm going to continue until I arrive here the same way as we did with this one here. Okay, so I'll meet you there. Okay, so I've reached in the same direction with my 4. That means I have 16 groups of 3. Okay, so I'm going to continue with my 4 double crochets because I'm at the edge now. So after my 16th group, I started the 4, and again with the 4 until I meet the same way as I did on the other side. So I should have 14 groups of 4. Okay, everyone, so I've done my 14 groups on the edge of 4 double crochets. And now I'm going back to 3. So we're supposed to hopefully end up with 16 groups of 3 double crochet. So 2, 3. Next space, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to continue mine and tell you exactly how many I have. So I'm on my last one, which is my 16th. Okay, so I have 16 groups of 3 on both sides, 16 groups of 3 on this side, 16 groups of 3 on this side, 14 groups on this side, and 14 on this side. So just perfect. I'm going to come in my 3rd chain here and close it up. And now I'm going to come in with my white. So slip stitch knot, I'm going to come back here again. Now it's going to change again here a bit right from the start, the very edge here. So we have this group just before the edge. I'm going to do a single. So that means your 16th one will make it easier. On the last double crochet, 1 double crochet. Okay, and next space, double crochet. We're going to create groups of 3. Next space, double crochet, 2 chain, we're going to skip 1 space and into the next one and create our 3 groups because we're at the edge. We need to do this, but once we do the sides, we're going to skip 2 space. Okay, so 2 chain, skip 1 into the next one and create your groups of 3. Now we're going to do this until, again, the same thing until the edge here. I'll let you know how many I have by skipping only 1 space. Okay, so I'll meet you here at the edge. Okay, you guys, so from here where I started until here, I have 15. That means I'm going to skip only 1 space here at the end so I can have my 16. So if you want to start already by the one here, then you can. You can do already your 16 one coming in through here, or you can just do exactly what I just did on your last group of 3 here. You can create, and as you come around, you do your 16 by skipping 1 space. Now we're going to do the same thing, chain 2, but this time we're going to skip 1, 2, and on the 3rd one we're going to create our groups. Until the edge. 1, 2 chains, skip 1, 2 on the 3rd space. Again, chain 2, skip 1, 2 on the 3rd space. So I'm going to continue to do this until the edge again, and I'll let you know how many groups I have skipped 2 space. So I'm going to continue until about here, until about the edge, and then I'm going to skip only 1 space afterwards. Okay, so I have 9 groups that I've skipped 2 space. Now it's extremely important that you have even numbers of groups. It has to fall into even numbers, or else we cannot finish the end properly. Okay, so let's say you have 39, you must fit the 40 somewhere in there, even if you have to skip only 1. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I have 9 groups, and 1, 2. I'm going to skip only 1 now. Okay, I'm right at the edge here, so I'm going to skip only 1 space again, like we did on the other side. Now you must count at the end how many groups you have. You have to have even numbers. So create your groups again, chain 2, skip 1 space into the next one. Because we're at the curve, we need to increase these at the curve, or it's going to pull too much. Okay, so on this side we did 15, but I'm going to add 1 more, 16. Okay, that we're skipping 2. So you're going to do the same thing. You can already do, I think I said we needed to. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and I'm going to leave only 8 groups skipped by 2. That's, I think, the proper way to have the right number. I'm going to skip only 1 time, so 8 groups of 3 double crochet skipped 2 space, and then I'm starting to skip only 1 after the 8 instead of 9. I think it will be best. Chain 2, because we needed to do the 16th on the other side, remember? Skip 1 space, and now you can count your 16 groups by skipping 1 space only. I think will be the right amount. Okay, everyone, so I've done my 16 groups, skipping by 1 only, after I've done my 8 on this side. Now, hopefully, we're going to have the 8, 1, 2 chain, skip 1, 2 on the 3rd one. I'm going to continue mine, and I'll meet you at the end and let you know how it worked out. Okay, everyone, so after my 16 on this side, I've skipped 2, so I did my 8 groups, and remember we had done this one, it was only 15, we needed to do the 16 on this side, so I'm going to skip only 1 and complete the 16 on this side. And of course it leaves only 1, which is perfect, hopefully. Now I'm going to count how many altogether I have. It has to stay even numbers. Okay, so it's perfect. I have 48 groups of 3 double crochet, 16 on one side with only 1 space between them, 16 on the other, 8 and 8. So now I'm going to come back in with my lavender. We're almost done. So slip stitch knot. I'm going to come right at the beginning here, right on the first one here, right on the center almost of the first group that we have below, and I'm going to do a single 2 chain. I'm going to create 2 groups of 3 double crochet, space between them. Try to hide my thread here, of 2 chain. Okay, so this is my 3rd double crochet and 2 chain space. Again, three more double crochet in the same space. One chain. In the next space, I'm doing only one double crochet, one chain. In the next space, the two groups again. It will be like this all the way around. This is row 12. Chain 2 again, so row 12, two groups of double crochet in the same space, two chain space between them, one chain, next space, one double crochet, one chain, next space, two groups of 3 double crochet again, two chain space between the groups, in the same space, 3 double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So I pretty much finished it, and as you can see, it finished in one, and that's how it's supposed to be. In case you have 2 in the same row, that means you're missing your group of 3. That's why you have to have even numbers, okay? Now, when you stretch out the pattern, it seems like it's folding a little bit like this here. Don't worry about it. The next row, it's going to fix it. Okay, so I've closed in with a slip stitch. We only have 2 more rows left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm coming into the next double crochet with double crochet. One chain space, next space, double crochet, one chain space, and only one double crochet in the center here between the groups. One chain space, another double crochet over double crochet, one chain space, double crochet, one chain space, and the last one. So you're going to have a total of 7 double crochets separated, space of one chain. Where we have the double crochet, we're coming in directly with a single. And again, we're going to do the 7 double crochets, separated space of one chain. One chain into the center of the group, one chain, and double crochet over double crochet. And it will give you the total of the 7 double crochets. Into the one double crochet here, we are doing a single, and directly again into the double crochet from the previous row, one chain space, and we continue on to do this all the way around. I'll meet you at the end, and then I'm cutting my thread and coming in with the white. Okay everyone, so I finished. So this was row 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, going into row 14. Now if we include the white one, will be 15, but I'm not including the white middle, so it's 14. Okay, so now you can grab any one of these, and we are going to come right in the center between the first and the second with the single. We're going to be doing picots, okay? So single, 1, 2, 3, come into your first one of the single and close in with the single. Next space, single, 1, 2, 3, chain, come into the first one and close in. Now the third one here, we're going to do a 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come into the first one and close in. So we're going to have 2 picots of 3 chain and the middle one of 5 chain, and we're going to have 2 more picots on this side also. 1, 2, 3, come into the single and close in with a single. Next space, single, 1, 2, 3, come into your single and close in with a single. So now we have 2 picots on this side of 3 chain, 1 of 5 and 2 of 3. Come in the last one and do a single. Now we're going to do a triple crochet, so you turn twice. We're going to be working inside of the first double crochets here, okay, on each motif here, only on the first one. So we're going to come from the inside of the space here and out, and give it a good stretch. We don't want it to be pulling. And then turn twice again, and we're going to come from the side to the front on this one. Give it a good stretch. And then we're going to come again in between the first and the second double crochet on the motif here and close in with a single. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be repeatedly the same way all the way around. Picot, next space, single, 1, 2, and 3. Close it with a single, and on the third one, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And picot, next space, single, 1, 2, 3. Close it with a single, next space, single, 1, 2, 3. And close it with a single. The last one is just a single. So now we have the 2 on this side with 3 chain, the middle with 5 chain, and the 2 with 3 chain. Turn twice. We're going to work again in the center here, outwards. Give it a stretch. Turn twice again, and we're going to work from the side now. And come in between the first and the second double crochet, which is that first space. 1, 2, 3, and continue on. So this pretty much does it for this tutorial. Very, very simple, nothing to it when you come around to the back. So you'll be doing the last one here, and then you do your triple, and you're going to come and grab and then slip stitch into the last picot, right? So I'll have the video shots at the end, maybe with a little video. And like I said, odd numbers to increase here. The length you want has to be odd numbers. And don't forget, the last one here has to be even numbers, okay, in order to have the right amount for the motif here at the end. Thank you so much. I'll leave the measurement below for this one. And I think it's about maybe not 40 grams of the lavender I used, not much of the purple or the white. Okay, so I'll leave everything below. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up of the video if you enjoyed it. And thank you once again for being part of this journey with me. And please consider helping the women in need. I send you much love, much hugs. Until next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.